I pressed my ear against the cold wooden door of the hallway closet, the musty scent of old coats filling my nostrils as my sister's laughter echoed from the living room. "Mom, where's Maya? We need her for the family shot." But then came the whisper that shattered everything. "Shh, honey, we can't have a black face in the wedding album. It'll clash with the theme. Just tell her to stay put. We'll say it's for the bridal party only." The words sliced through me like a knife, confirming what I'd suspected all my life in this so-called family. Maya Thompson, that's me, the adopted daughter in a sea of pale faces. I'd been with the Thompsons since I was 5, plucked from a foster home in Chicago after my birth parents' car accident. They paraded me around like a charity case at church fundraisers, but behind closed doors, it was always fit in or fade out. Now, at 32, standing in that damn hallway during my sister Emily's wedding photo shoot, I finally understood. I was the stain they couldn't bleach away. The photographer's flash popped repeatedly, illuminating the crack under the door like distant lightning. I could picture it all. The sprawling colonial house in suburban Atlanta, rented for the occasion with its manicured lawns and crystal chandeliers. Emily, radiant in her lace gown from David's bridal, her fiancé Mark beaming beside her in his tailored tux. Mom, Patricia, fussing over the floral arrangements, her pearls gleaming under the lights. Dad, Robert, cracking jokes about golf scores to lighten the mood. And the extended family. Aunt Karen with her Botox Lyle, Uncle Ted nursing a scotch, Covens giggling over champagne flutes. Everyone but me. I'd arrived that morning, driving my beat-up Honda Civic from my apartment in the city, arms loaded with a gift bag containing a personalized photo frame I'd spent weeks customizing. "For your new home," I'd said to Emily when I hugged her. She squeezed me back, her blue eyes sparkling. "You're the best, sis. Can't wait for you to meet everyone." But as the photo shoot began, Mom pulled me aside. "Sweetie, why don't you wait in the hallway? We need some shots just with the immediate family first. You understand, right? It's tradition." Tradition. That word had been their shield for years. Tradition meant Sunday dinners where they'd reminisce about ancestors from Ireland, conveniently skipping my Haitian roots. Tradition meant holidays where I'd smile through microaggressions like, "You're so articulate for, you know." Tradition meant high school proms where Dad vetted my dates, warning about keeping up appearances. But this? Hiding me like a dirty secret? My fists clenched, nails digging into palms until I felt warm blood trickle. As the session dragged on, I scrolled through my phone, landing on old family photos. There I was, always in the back row, cropped out of frames or photoshopped lighter in yearbooks. The anger bubbled up, hot and unrelenting. Why had I stayed silent? For love? For the illusion of belonging? Emily and I had been close once. Late-night talks about boys, shared secrets over ice cream runs to Dairy Queen. But lately, she'd changed, echoing Mom's subtle digs. "Maybe tone down the braids for the rehearsal dinner. We want cohesive looks." Finally, the door creaked open. Emily poked her head in, her veil slightly askew. "Maya, you okay? Mom said you weren't feeling well." I forced a smile, my voice steady despite the storm inside. "Yeah, just a headache. Congrats again, I'm heading out. Work calls early tomorrow." Her brow furrowed. "But the reception's tonight. You can't leave now." "I have to. Tell everyone I said bye." I grabbed my purse and slipped out the back door, the gravel crunching under my heels as I walked to my car. The engine roared to life, and as I pulled away, tears blurred the rearview mirror. But beneath the hurt, a seed of resolute planted itself. They didn't want me in their picture-perfect life? Fine. I'll paint my own canvas and make theirs crumble. Back in my one-bedroom apartment overlooking the bustling streets of Midtown Atlanta, I paced the worn hardwood floors, the city lights flickering like distant stars. The walls were adorned with my artwork, vibrant abstracts inspired by Basquiat and my heritage. I'd built a life here as a graphic designer for a marketing firm, freelancing on the side for Black-owned businesses. It wasn't glamorous, but it was mine. No more pretending. That night, sleep evaded me. I replayed the hallway scene over and over, each whisper amplifying the betrayal. By dawn, anger morphed into determination. Revenge wasn't about destruction, it was about exposure. They'd hidden me to preserve their facade, now I'd strip it bare. First, I dug into the family secrets. Over coffee at my local cafe, a cozy cafe with jazz playing softly, I called my old friend Jamal, a private investigator I'd met through work. "Maya, long time, what's up?"
I need dirt on my family. The Thompsons. Anything shady. He whistled. Adoptive folks. That's heavy. Give me a week. While waiting, I reflected on the years of subtle racism. Mom's compliments like, "You're pretty for a dark girl." Dad's reluctance to fund my college unless I majored in something practical like business, not art. Emily's high school friends whispering slurs behind my back. And the big one, the adoption itself. I'd always suspected it was more about tax breaks and virtue signaling than love. Patricia volunteered at orphanages for photo ops, posting on Facebook about saving lives. Jamal called back sooner than expected. "Girl, jackpot. Your dad, embezzling from his accounting firm. Small amounts over years, enough to fund that fancy lifestyle. Mom's got a gambling habit. She's in debt to some shady lenders. And Emily, her perfect fiancé Mark, he's got a side chick in Savannah. Pics and texts to prove it." My heart raced. Send it all. The files arrived via encrypted email. Bank statements showing Dad siphoning funds, casino records for Mom, and damning screenshots from Mark's phone. Jamal had his ways. But the crown jewel? Adoption papers with forged signatures. They'd cut corners, broadening officials to fast-track my placement, all to boost their social standing in the community. I sat at my desk, the glow of my laptop illuminating my face, piecing together a plan. Not violence, that wasn't me. No, this would be surgical, public, and poetic. The wedding reception was that weekend at the country club with 200 guests, including local bigwigs. Emily's social media was buzzing with teasers. Hashtag Thompson Wedding Bliss. Pristine white aesthetics dominating. I created an anonymous account on Instagram and Twitter at Hidden Truths ATL. First post, a blurred photo of the hallway door, captioned, "What happens when family hides you for the perfect shot?" Stay tuned. Hashtag Family Secrets. Likes trickled in, then surged as algorithms kicked in. By Friday, it had 5K followers, speculation running wild. Is this about the Thompsons? That wedding looks sus. Phase 2. Leak the embezzlement docs to Dad's firm anonymously via email. Check your partner's books from a concerned insider. Chaos ensued. I monitored from afar, news alerts pinged about an investigation at Thompson Accounting LLC. Dad called me that night, voice shaky. "Maya, honey, have you heard anything? Some nonsense at work." I played dumb. "No, Dad, everything okay?" He hung up quickly, paranoia evident. Next, Mom's gambling. I tipped off her bridge club friends with scanned receipts. Whispers spread like wildfire in their tight-knit circle. At the rehearsal dinner, which I skipped, rumors flew. But the real blow was for Emily. I agonized over this. She was my sister, blood or not. Yet she'd stood by silently as they hid me. I sent the affair evidence to her best friend Leela from an untraceable number. Thought you should know before vows.
The ceremony proceeded, vows exchanged amid forced smiles. But during toasts, my final strike hit. At Hidden Truths ATL went live with a thread. The Thompson family album. What's missing? Photos of me as a child, juxtaposed with today's exclusion. Then the bombshells, embezzlement proofs, redacted for legality, gambling debts, affair screenshots, and the adoption fraud. They, quote, saved me for clout, but hid me when it mattered. The account tagged everyone, guests, media, even the local news. Phones buzzed mid-toast. Gasps rippled through the room. Aunt Karen dropped her glass. Uncle Ted muttered, "Holy shit." Emily's face crumpled as she scrolled. Mark bolted for the exit. Dad tried damage control. This is fake, hacking. But the damage was done. Guests whispered, some leaving early. The DJ played awkward filler music. Mom collapsed into a chair, sobbing. I watched from my car, a mix of triumph and sorrow washing over me. This wasn't just revenge. It was liberation. As sirens wailed, cops called for the fraud, I started my engine. Months later, the fallout was epic. Dad's firm fired him. Charges pending. Mom entered rehab, their house foreclosed. Emily annulled the marriage, moving to California for a fresh start. She texted me once, "I'm sorry, Maya. I should have stood up." I replied, "Me too. But I'm free now." I thrived. My design business boomed, specializing in diversity campaigns. I even started a blog, Unhidden Stories, sharing tales of adopted kids like me. At a gallery opening in New York, surrounded by friends who saw me fully, I raised a glass to albums that include everyone. The Thompsons' perfect world had fallen apart, but mine, it was just beginning.